Okay. All right. Thanks for your patience with this session, guys. So to get started, I'm logged in as an executive of a particular club that is not real, the Birdwatching Club. My access has been applied by our staff, and to access the page at any time, I can click on the cogwheel drop down and go to Birdwatching Club Test Only. So test only is obviously the name of this club because we don't want regular students joining this group. So it's just for our purposes in doing these kinds of sessions while we're in the transition process. So you can see here, there's a whole suite of tools that you can access. We have gone through some of these tools in a previous session, but I'll just touch on what those actually do. So if you go to edit details, you can go here and change the information that's on the front page of your site. Obviously, we've left this pretty blank ourselves because this is only for training purposes. But you as a group can go through and add as much information as you need, including all your web handles, URLs, and so on and so forth, to all your social media, etc. And then we can head back to admin tools by hitting the back button. You can add news items to the website using the news function. So it's really easy. Just hit add new article. And this will generate a page for you to add information to the website. Once this is added, it'll appear in this tab here under clubs and then club news. So I'm going to open that in a new tab, and that's where it'll appear. So you can see we've just got a test article up at the moment that we should probably delete now that the site is live. But that's what it will look like. So you can click into that. People can actually comment on this and so on and so forth. So it is quite interactive. We go back to the page here. I'm going to go back to admin news, and we're going to go back to admin tools again. And we're going to go to events. So much like the old website, you can add events to the USASA website, hitting the events button. Again, this is really, really intuitive. All you have to do is add new events and fill out the details as required. So there are a few more, I guess, tick boxes and things in this this platform, including online meetings and URLs, etc., which sort of just gives a bit more information. So again, if we go to the clubs dropdown and the clubs events tool, this is where students will see that information on the front page of the website. So as you can see, it looks a little bit nicer than our previous website, or at least I think so anyway, but it's really, really handy and looks quite nice. So if you click into any of these activities, you can see more information, and if that information happens to be linked to a purchasable ticket, it'll show in that space as well. I'll get Lauren to go through the ticketing side of things in a minute because she's more of a pro at this stage than I am. But we'll head back to the events page. Again, you can easily navigate at any time out of this by heading back to the event list and then back to admin tools. As I said, Lauren's going to go over tickets and products in a minute, but I will quickly touch on messages. So this message function is, I guess, the email center for contacting students or members through the website. I will warn you that there is still some testing going on about the functionality of these emails. So currently the emails can be sent to non-students who have signed up with a non-UniSA student email address. We're currently working to rectify that so that students and staff will also receive emails from this address. So that being said, it is already more reliable than our previous website. So that's some good news on that front. We'll let you know as soon as we have more information about this being fully functional. I'm going to hit back to admin tools again and go to members. So this is where you can see who's joined this club. So you can see it's very basic information. You can click into each of these people and find more information about them if they've chosen to enter that. So if I go to Tegan, which one have I had? You can see a picture of my puppy, my dog, that I've uploaded as my profile picture there to find out a bit more information about your members. If they're a UniSA student, you'll see their card number appear in the list here. You can also filter this list by group. So you can see we've got 2 UniSA student members. We've got all of our members listed here. We've got 2 presidents, both me, and 2 treasurers, both Lauren, and all the people that have joined as a general member as well. So that gives a quick breakdown. So we go back to admin tools again. There is a function here called sign up, so we're not currently using. There'll be more information about that at some point in the future. But we also have this function called polls here. So polls you can add at any time and they appear on the front page of your club site. So if we go back to admin tools, go to home page, you can see that there's a yes no poll that has landed here and I can respond to that and submit and give a response. And you can see 4 people have cast a vote and that's the result. Everyone says yes so far out of yes and no. But you can use that for anything you like, such as voting on a pub crawl theme or, you know, what kind of event you'd like to host next or that kind of thing. So it's a little bit of fun there. I'm going to navigate back to the admin tools by going back to the cogwheel and going to admin tools again. So you can see once you're on the club page, it'll actually give you more options in the drop down at the top there. We also have sales report. This is where any information about your ticket or product sales will land. But again, Lauren will go into that with more information. And then we have resources here. So if you'd like to upload any information or files to your club page, you can through this function here. And it appears, if we go back to the home page, in this list as a downloadable resource. So you can see on any of the clubs that exist on our current website, we have uploaded all of your previous minutes or the copies of minutes that we have access to, as well as rules of governance as well. We're going to navigate again back to the admin tools and I'll touch on finances now. So we are actually changing finance processes completely with the transition to the new website, which Lauren and I are both very excited about because it automates the process more than it has previously. So you can see here, we have the option to create a new money request. So to create a funding or a new money request, I'll just hit this button and fill out the details. So you have the option to pay a supplier. So that might be when you're paying an invoice or give a reimbursement. So that would be if, say, for instance, someone from your club has gone to Woolies, spent $100, they need $100 back, you'd put in a reimbursement. Then we can enter their payee name. So if I set this as a reimbursement for another student, so other student is someone other than myself, I'm going to enter Lauren. I'm going to enter 000 as the account number, obviously, for the sake of this experiment. And then I'm going to enter Lauren's email address as the recipient. And you can actually choose to associate this with a particular event if you have one. And I'm going to say this one is for the pigeon party that we hosted. As usual with the previous like a PDF form that you used to fill out, you need to enter the NAB payment ID. So at this point, you would go log on to NAB Connect, create your payment as usual, and then you'll enter the NAB payment ID here. I'm going to enter that as 000 for the purpose of this test. And then we're going to enter a description for this payment. So I'm going to say that Lauren has done a duck pigeon party, if I can spell. And which she's purchased a costume. And then we'll enter the amount here and we can choose an account. So you're only going to have one account to choose from in this list. Because this club is fake, it doesn't actually have an account, but we can easily then once you have access, you'll be able to add it there. I'm going to quickly upload a picture of my receipt, which I have prepared earlier, and then hit the upload button. So on a lot of the pages on the new USASA website, you'll have to hit the upload button and it will recognize it as done once it's ready to go. Now that we've created that, we can hit create and submit. This is saying it's failing because, as I said, this is a fake club. It doesn't actually have an account listing in the back end of our website. But I'm going to quickly nip over to a different version of this as a test tool to show you what it looks like. So once, can you see the new page that's come up there? Nope. I'm going to change the share to, okay, can you see that page with the green top or pink top now? Excellent. So once you've hit entered that money request, it's going to lodge as a pending approval for the committee. So this is actually one that Lauren submitted earlier. So I can have a look at this, and as a fellow committee member, I need to double check and be the second approver on this. So previously you would have had 2 people sign each transaction form, the person who submitted the form and the person who's approving the form. And now we're doing that online. So I've submitted, or Lauren has submitted this transaction, and now I'm approving it. So you can check the details of that transaction and hit approve. So now that's highlighted in yellow, and that actually sends it to Lauren and I to double check the details of that transaction, and we will log in as a staff member and approve it on our end. Then we go through the usual process of going into NAB Connect and having other staff members approve that. So this completely makes the old PDF transaction form redundant, which means everything is going to be online. There'll be no signing of forms. It will all be through the website. This is nice and secure because you have to be logged in and registered as an executive before you can take part in this process in any way. And again, Lauren and I are really excited to be moving away from a PDF form and into the future, into the 21st century finally. So I'm going to close out of this page. Is that old page showing again that I was on previously? Yeah. Perfect. So that is how the finance process is going to work. So anytime your fellow executive has put a transaction request through the website, you can log in and go to the finance page, and it'll be sitting here as a money request ready to be approved or tagged to be approved. And it is easy as that on your end, which is really exciting. So I'm going to hand over to Lauren now, who's going to go over the ticketing process or products and ticketing processes and events as well. So I'm going to stop sharing now.
Okay, hopefully that's working for everyone. Yep, perfect. Oh, the wrong one. Oh no, welcome to my talking points. Let's get rid of that one. Trying to move this onto my correct screen. It's off to a great start already. Pop him back there. And I'm just going to move my camera so it's less weird for me. There we go. Improvising. All right, so we'll start off by covering off, let's go with tickets first. So tickets work, they're different to the old website. So as Tegan touched on earlier, it's kind of connected to an event. So if you want to sell tickets to something, it's a matter of creating an event first, which we'll quickly do that here. Let's revisit the Duck Disco. Be very exciting with my information for these things. Over the next couple of weeks, you can like have a treasure hunt on the website and find all our tests because there's a few of them. So it's a club, in person, an image, something. Let's use Lilo again. She was the face of it last time. Everyone, display dates. So it's a bit of hitting save for that one. So we now have the event which is added. So you go back to the club admin tools here, and then it's a matter of clicking tickets. And so it should bring up an event there. So you'll see Duck Disco, and it's just a matter of clicking add tickets. There's options as to what tickets you want to add to it. So you can have student, which means only students can buy it. Early bird is just a matter of they'll close off earlier. Or member, which is anyone can buy a ticket as long as they're a member of your club. So for this one, we'll just do member, which means it's open to everyone. And there are little question marks that give you helpful text as you're going. So here we'll just set a price. Let's for $1, and you can have how long you want to put on sale for. If you don't set a date or time, it'll just sell until forever or it sells out. But we definitely recommend setting a sell on 2 time because otherwise you'll have people buying tickets to your event that was 4 years ago. We'll go there and we'll have this go to thing. So sales limit here is the maximum amount of basically tickets you have available for your event. So we'll say that we want to cap it at 87, and then per person is how many tickets each person can buy. So we'll cap that one at 10. Then it's a matter of hitting save. If you want to add another one, so we've already got a member ticket, but now we want to add one for student members. So add another ticket. Student, set this one at $2. And go to, there's really kind of backward logic because normally the members will be more expensive than the student ones, but that's okay. We're just making an example here. Sales limit, hit that one at 87 as well. This one, 5. So say you wanted to have an overall event capacity. Did I do that right? I think I might have closed that instead of saving it. Oh, that would do it too. Thank you. That's in the future, I believe. Cool. So now we've got the 2 tickets, but in our old website, it was an issue where you couldn't have a overarching capacity for the event. This one you can. So if you want to edit the limits, so right now we've got ticket sales 87, 87, but reality is actually the venue capacity is 87. In there, we can just change this to be 87 and save. So that means at the moment, no matter how many people tickets people buy in each area, the overall cap will be 87. So that's quite a handy thing to have now. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do it for tickets. There is an extra step if you want to add some more final details and add it to the club's e-store page as well, but I'll go through that after I've explained the products. So going back to products now here. So products, so you can see we've had a few test products here. So we'll start with adding a new product. And this is much the same as adding a ticket, except obviously it's a product, not a ticket, and it's not actually going to be attached to an event either. So we'll create a test, $2, sell until December. And so once again, the sales limit is the maximum amount you're selling for the event, and per person is how many they can buy. So if you wanted to add customizations, what you do is you click this little icon here. And then you'll go through and you'll find the products here. So we'll add new customization. This is where you can put in, say, if we're making a t-shirt or something, you might want to do sizes. So change it to be size. Then you can be help text if you want to be like, find your size chart here, or, you know, these are unisex size, whatever you want. You can choose whether to make it required or not. So say if you were doing on a ticket and you had dietary requirements, you mightn't want to make it a requirement. But if you're asking someone their t-shirt size, you definitely want to make it required. And then here you can have the option of making it whether it's per product, per item, or per transaction. So if it's per product, I believe it's a case where every time you buy one of the product, it'll ask you. If it's per item, it will ask you for each item in the cart. So say you bought 3 tickets, it would ask you for the information 3 times. And if it's per transaction, it will just ask you once. But there's always help text as well on the screen that will show you what that means. So here you can set predefined values. So say if you were doing a t-shirt sizes, you might want to be like small, medium, large, and limit this list. That means that will be the only option. So we'll do that for now. Size with small, medium, large. Save. And then we'll add a new customize. So if you want to put a name on the shirt, put name, this one per product as well. You can set max length. If you set that as 0, they can just write as long as they want, but recommend keeping it short because otherwise that's going to be a very long name. And so in this one, I'm not going to set a predefined value, which means they can type anything they want. It's safe for that. So now I've set a few customizations for that. And let's quickly show you that on tickets as well. You can do the same thing for tickets if you want to add dietary requirements or anything else. So now it's kind of going back to the club page. And so here's where you can buy it all. So they'll all be listed on your store page as well. And I'm going to show you soon how to add it to the club's e-store page there. So we'll purchase this one. So that's now in my cart. So I'll go up and we'll go to checkout. And so when you're to checkout, that's where I'll ask you your customization. So it's not actually on the product itself, it's in the checkout. So say I wanted a small, and I'll put my name as Lauren, then continue. And that's where you can ask, that's where you add your details. And we also have the option of adding a discount code now, which is kind of cool. I'll show you how to do that all now. So basically, once you've done that, you've created all your products and you're happy with that. If you want to have them added to the club store, so they'll show up in this list here. We just have a form, which is on the frequently asked, no, it's not, I haven't put it up there yet. We're waiting to after this training, but it's on the form and template page already, where it's just finishing touches to a product / ticket. So in here is where you can add an image to a product, you can add it to the e-store page, you can set up a discount code, hide the product to the public. So that means people can only find it if they have the URL link. You can restrict who can purchase the items. So say you want to restrict it by, we only want students to purchase it, or we only want student and alumni to purchase it. You can do that. And you can also set up a completion email that people will receive, which is, we definitely recommend doing these final steps, even if you don't want all the additional stuff, but just to add a picture to your product, that can be quite helpful. So in here, basically you have to put in the name so we know what we're adding this image to. Then you can choose whether or not you want to add to the club store page. Sometimes you might want to limit it to only your members being able to see it, in which case just say no. And then it's putting up a picture. If you have multiple pictures, you're welcome to send them through. We just ask that you email them because otherwise this would be a really long form. But your primary picture should always be uploaded here, and that will be the one that will be on the storefront. If you want a discount code, just let us know how much you want, because the way the discount code works is basically, say if it's $10 and you want it to be charged $8, put in $2 and we'll take $2 off the price. We will set the codes on your behalf because it's quite strict about what the code is. It has to be exactly 6 letters. So we'll probably just make something up for you, send it through. If you have something you'd like it to be, you're welcome to email it through to us, but generally we'll just come up with something relating to the event or the club, and fairly simple. You can choose if you want it to be hidden to public. Once again, all these questions are completely optional, so you can ignore it if you want, but obviously this one just a yes or no, so just answer that one. You can restrict it. So say if you want it to be a UniSA student or alumni, it can be a member of the club and a UniSA student, or the person can be a member of the club. So it's quite flexible with what kind of restrictions we can do. So basically send through your request and we'll probably let you know if we can or can't do it, because all right, no, we're still learning how it works and what can be done, but right now it seems pretty limitless. And then completion email text. This one's quite important because otherwise they're just going to get generic. Here's your receipt. So if you're selling merch, it's quite important to include a completion email text which says this is how to collect it. We'll be in contact like this day, or here's where you can find more information. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And so after that, it will take about 3 days, and Tegan and I will put it up on the website for you, which will show here. So here we've got something we've already put on. You can see the Agpu Pin, and this is kind of what it shows up on the website. Obviously, it's connected to the UniSA merch store, so you're going to get some information or branding that looks like it's UniSA merch, but that's the way it has to be, unfortunately. So let's try to find one here that's got multiple options. Possibly, no, not this one. So there is one option which I'm trying to show right here. We go. If you have 2 similar products, like say, for example, you want to do a jumper that has embroidered name on it and one that doesn't, they're obviously going to be different prices. So the way you do that is you create 2 separate products, and then T and I can merge them in the back end. So right here, they've got an orange tote bag, but there's also a red option. So, and a both, and you can see that that's more expensive. So these are 3 separate products in the store page, which I'll show you how they appear on the club page right there. So this is how they appear on the club page, but we've managed to merge them together on the e-store, so it only shows the one product. That might be handy. But that's pretty much it for setting up stores. So it's both better and worse than our old website. So that luckily most of the extra work is at our end and not at yours. So pretty good. And it does mean that you don't actually have to wait for us to approve it for it to go live, because there's not as much room for error, because everything that kind of can go wrong is managed by us, and you just have to complete that form. I'll now touch on events. And this is another thing that's had a significant overhaul with the new website. So if you go to run event and organizing event, you'll see we've got a new process listed here. So I don't know if you've had much experience booking a space before. I believe you guys have. You used to have to come to us and then go to facilities management. That process has now been reversed. So you'll see if you want to book a space on campus, it's a matter of clicking your request here, and then you'll log in as a staff or student and submit your booking, and that will go directly to facilities management. After that, facilities management will send it through to Tegan and myself, and we'll approve it. And that's pretty much how you book a space on campus now. But if you want to have food or hire equipment, that is still managed by us. For food, basically just it's a matter of we still need your certificate to ensure that you're insured. And event equipment is just something that we manage and do for you. So we need that to come through us. And the way you book that is directly through your club admin tools again. So this is just a matter of going to the activities function and then going all activities and new. So in here, you have to put in a brief overview of what you're doing. So I'll go So how this one is on campus. If you clicked off campus, you'll just get a few little extra forms that are different. So I won't bother going into that one today. But it's pretty much exactly the same process, just different questions that we'll ask later on. Then save and submit. And so once you get there, you'll then see there's food safety, attendee list, and on-campus equipment hire. Attendee list, we haven't figured out how to get rid of it, but it doesn't do anything, so you can ignore that. Food safety will go through here and it'll ask you some questions. So it'll just send you to this form where, similar to the way the bank booking process used to be, you just ask these questions, send it through, and then it gets sent through to us. Oh, I've missed my deadline. So we do have a requirement that you complete this 7 days before your booking. So unfortunately, because I have not met my deadline, I'm not able to submit this now. So I'll have to go back into the page and resubmit it, basically changing the date of the event, if I can. I'll be honest, this is my first time using the activities dashboard. It's like Tegan kind of created this one, so I'm just like figuring out as I go along. So
you're doing so well. You're doing so well.
So yeah, you get to watch firsthand us do exactly what you're doing. So all right, we'll try this again and actually this time set it so it's happening in the future. Okay, now we have the option of doing it. So here are the forms that we still need to complete. So we'll go to the food safety one, and here you get the deadline of it must be submitted by Friday, the 14th of October. Otherwise, we're not going to authorize it and you're not going to be able to proceed with your event. So we're going to have food. Now we're going to get someone else to provide that. So this is where you can upload your file. Let's just see what files we've got. Yeah, let's use this one. And here you put up, you can do your risk assessment. So you can download the template here and then upload it here as well. Let's use ASO for this one. And it's save and submit. And so that gets sent straight away through to Tegan and myself, where we can then review and approve it. So you can see it's submitted, and you can come back in the home page where you can check on to see what the status is. So once we've approved it, you'll get us approved. And yeah, or if it's not approved, you'll get it declined as well. Let's try find that one again. So you see I've submitted the, okay, I don't know what's going on right now. I think I'm in the planning, so I'm in the wrong event right now. I can't wait for this to be uploaded and shown to everyone. Like, this is what you do. I've generally lost the disco. There it is. Okay, so now we've got food safety there and it's on campus. So this is where I will do the equipment hire. So they'll ask you, have you done your Appian? And it's like, yes or not yet. If it's not yet, I'll probably just email you, remind you to do it. And if it's yes, it's like, brilliant, well, good. And then here's all the equipment we have available to hire. So it's just simply a matter of going, no, I want no equipment, or yeah, actually would like a square card reader and iPad and a folding trolley. And let's go with 4 trestle tables. Then it's save and submit. And after that, you were done. So we'll just approve it and submit through. But that's pretty much it. As it's obvious, I'm still very much learning this website. So hopefully over time, we'll make more official videos once we actually know what we're doing and can deliver this with a bit more confidence. Okay, so the reason you just said that the reason the food safety is green is because it's been approved. So right now the on-campus booking hasn't quite been approved yet. So what would happen in that situation is once it's come through to me, I'll then do a CSR and arrange for everything to be set up for you, and then also will approve it myself. So it's one of those things where you probably don't have to email back and forth. You can just come in here and check on the way it's progressing. And if it's been a week and it hasn't been any progress, then maybe send an email, make sure we received it. But otherwise it's an easy way to check on and see how the workflow is happening. But yeah, you can go down here, you can see that Tegan's approved it. And if it's not approved, we'll add a note as well. Be like, hey, we don't have that, or like, thank you, approved, please collect your equipment from the counter between 10 and 4. So that's a way we can communicate with that. I'm not confident in this, but I think you may also receive this via email if it is approved, but that might be a matter of once we've fixed that issue that we're currently encountering. So I think that's pretty much everything covering on products and events at the moment. Everything will be written up on the website with a bit more clarity as well. We've got time to kind of figure it all out. I'm going to